Hello everybody, thank you for joining me today on a discussion about making peace with your body and being healthy wherever you are right now. So let me ask you something. Can you tell someone's health by their body size? And is shrinking your waistline really the key to becoming healthier? Many would say an emphatic yes. But the fact is that all people of all body sizes can experience all ranges of health on the wellness continuum. Disease is not selective based on external appearances, but rather it's a combination of various aspects that influence well-being. Unfortunately, weight loss and fitness has become synonymous with health, and diet culture has sneakily infiltrated into integrative and conventional medicine. And this has had many dangerous implications, such as promoting disordered eating, body shaming, stigma of larger body sizes, body dissatisfaction, malnourishment and nutrient deficiencies, devaluing traditional cultural culinary practices, and substandardized medical care. It means a doctor's bias about how a body should look can actually influence what treatments they might suggest to somebody. So in my previous videos, which can be linked, or the video description will be found in the article for this video, I have discussed the concept of health and how the focus of nutrition and fitness is way too narrow. I feel that we should view all aspects of health, including physical, psychological, social, community, spiritual, and economical. All of these should be viewed on a scale of wellness, and see physical as only one aspect. So I want to talk with you and offer resources and maybe just some ideas to think about how to obtain health and wellness from more of an integrative viewpoint, and viewing nutrition and moving your body in a way that is actually promoting and enhancing your life rather than maybe causing more stress and mental harm on you from an obsession with how you think that you should look. So I know this is a controversial and emotional topic and a very lucrative topic with weight loss, and it may trigger some people, anger others. People might think I have no scientific basis, but I do have references in the article if you want to check that out. So I do invite you to keep an open mind and maybe consider that accepting your body and treating it well regardless of what it looks like without trying to manipulate its shape and size relentlessly, and kind of just letting the chips fall where they were as you nurture yourself. That might actually provide you the rewards that you thought that you could get from dieting and achieving this idealized body size that many cannot obtain. So when we think about the definition of health, even from the World Health Organization and many other esteemed authorities, it's more than the absence of disease or lack of symptoms. I've discussed this before, but it's viewed as a resource for living. In other words, being healthy is meant to help one live more fully their values, pursue their passions, and promote better social connections. This is in alignment with health at every size, in which healthful behaviors are aimed to enhance one's life. Where diet culture views diet and lifestyle as a means to an end to point to a certain body size or some maybe lab value or end point for a disease marker. Health at every size actually moves beyond these messages of body shaming, food morality, and what one should look like, and they take a weight-inclusive approach that offers wellness practices for living more healthfully. However, these interventions aren't meant to control someone's life, and they're actually meant as promoting healthy outcomes so that one can participate more fully in their life without being bogged down by body symptoms and body woes. So you have two people practicing the same behavior regardless of their body size, and no matter who exercises, they're going to get this array of beneficial chemicals and compounds to their brain and to their whole body. And no matter what body is eating a certain food, it still has the same nutrients and the same different either healthy or unhealthy aspects to that individual. So many still are striving and seeking for the perfect diet and movement routine to shape their bodies to a societal norm or cultural image. And that can downplay some of these benefits. And it can also be damaging. Because I've seen in my practice how restrictive diets can strain relationships. They can make people hangry and moody. They can lead one to become obsessed with food and deprive many people of living their true values and enjoyment for life because they're so obsessed on making sure they do things the right or healthy way. And this isn't only damaging to mental and physical health, but it does impact relationships, like I mentioned, and overall well-being and emotional balance. So we've heard that maybe people should hang out with quote winners or hang out with people who are healthy because that influences you. But if we avoid what we deem as unhealthy friends or don't go to events because unhealthy foods that make us uncomfortable, what's the cost of that? Because loneliness and social isolation are one of the top predictors of mortality and mental health issues. And we're already seeing the results of what happens when people become so polarized. There's no tolerance to listen to or include other people with other viewpoints. I argue that's not emotionally healthy or balanced. And even if one does obtain and keep an idealized body size, even if they do it naturally or unnaturally, the stress to keep it off and the mental and cognitive strain from macro or caloric arithmetic acrobatics can really wear on emotional well-being and physical health, right? It can make one's world very small, and if one only accepts into those who subscribe to the same lifestyle and dietary rules, again, they're not going to see where this might be somewhat not normal or not optimal, I should say. So taken to the extreme, eating disorders and orthorexia can result from too much focus on healthy eating or what your body should look like. Now, orthorexia, that's an evolving term, surfaced in about the late 90s, and it is still not well defined, but it's becoming more pervasive, and some are classifying it as an eating disorder not specified. Their characteristics that are agreed on, according to several reviews, are obsessional or pathological preoccupations with healthy nutrition, emotional consequences such as distress or anxieties of not adhering to these self-imposed nutritional rules, and then psychosocial impairments in relevant areas of life, as well as malnutrition and weight loss. And weight loss doesn't even necessarily have to occur in my viewpoint. So there was a perspective article in Federal Practitioner in 2017, and the author said it this way, that orthorexia nervosa is perhaps the best summarized as an obsession with healthy eating with associated restrictive behaviors. However, the attempt to obtain optimal health through attention to diet may lead to malnourishment, loss of relationships, and poor quality of life. It is little understood disorder with uncertain etiology, imprecise assessment tools, and formal diagnostic criteria or classification. So again, it's kind of popping out as something that we need to pay attention to. And maybe society normalizing some of these behaviors is not helping. We want to focus with a widened lens on healthy body. And for me, as a naturopathic and functional medicine doctor, I did all that restrictive food practicing with my clients in the past. Some achieved weight loss and managed it for quite some time. And I also saw the implications emotionally and relationship-wise as they were trying to maintain it. And I also saw the weight cycling effect that occurs. Because the fact is, diets often only provide temporary results up to about a year, and they fail 97 to 99% of the time in the long term. So that's why people continuously have to go on different types of diets, because it's doing the same thing over and over and over and hoping and praying for different results. But again, this can lead to weight cycling, and weight cycling actually has negative impacts on the health. This is where people actually lose the weight and they gain it back and then some. And this disequilibrium has actually been linked to higher mortality than people who have just sustained a natural weight that's healthy for them throughout their lives. So I don't want to give the viewpoint that I'm denying the science that weight may be linked to various disease processes and risk factors, because there's some compelling evidence out there. But I'm arguing that we can't continue to confuse the association of body size with cause for these diseases, because they're linked. Now, there are some various diseases that show with weight loss certain things do occur that are beneficial. But again, for most people, it is going to be nearly impossible to maintain that weight loss, and it feels unethical for me to promise that they can, for all of the reasons I just discussed. So how can you live your own life in your own body and feel good about that? That's the work. It's not easy. I'm not going to sit here and lie and say it's easy, because it's not. There's a whole societal pressure that's out there. But it starts with inside you, and you deciding, are you going to take the path to the shiny object, an unspecified destination that's based on others' approval and constantly unfulfilled promises and relentless dieting and movement that you don't enjoy? Or are you going to take your own road and your own path, what you feel is healthy for you and what your values and alignments are with all those other aspects of health, as you nourish your body and brain with different foods that you enjoy and with movement that refuels you and helps you think clearer? I know which one I choose, and I think and I hope that you choose one that'll be most effective, peaceful, and healthy for you. And a little side note here to my athletes and my trainers, this might not 100% apply to you, because this is part of your world of building the body and making the body a certain shape and strength in order to excel. But I am talking to the rest of us who specifically are caught in this diet cycle and diet culture, and it isn't related to our careers, but more to external approval, and this mismatched medical model of how we look is about what our health is. So hopefully this was helpful for you. I'd love to hear your comments. I hope that you can keep them kind and constructive, and I will definitely respond. And I will continue to provide resources that give a broader approach outside of just food and exercise on how we can really be well, because I want to embrace wellness as a preventative term of excelling in all these different aspects of health. And I hope you'll join me, and I hope that this video again was helpful, and I will talk to you real soon. Have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching this.